folks, welcome to Motion Meat. I'm Captain Jimmy. Today we're going to go to Collingwood and talk dirty dogs with Dirty Puppet. Let's get filthy.
Once again.
We're here at Easy's in Collingwood and we're doing Dirty Dogs with Dirty Puppet. This is Cam Goff. Is it Goff, like Van Gogh?
Yeah, pronounced the same, spelled different.
But you're not going to slice your ear off or anything like that?
No, it all depends how this goes.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we're having dogs today and I'm going the smoked dog and Cam is going the...
Chili dog.
Chili dog.
I wanted the smoked dog, but I thought this would be...
Oh, well, do we need to...
No, it's okay.
Right, I mean, we can go half and half and see what happens.
I've invested.
Invested, right. Ladies first.
Alright. Eating on camera.
Woohoo! Have you ever eaten on camera before?
No. No, I have not. Cheers.
Only pussy. Cam, if you don't know, runs a great studio in Collingwood called Dirty Puppet. When I first heard of you, I thought, this guy's an ass up now. Very lovely work. Very lovely work. Your work for a long time has always had this nice kind of textural, organic, hand-drawn quality. Would that be fair to say?
Especially early on.
Early on.
Also, yeah.
Yep. And why was that? Is that your nature? Is that kind of the thing that you're drawn to?
Yeah. It's also a good way of hiding stuff. Yeah, that's okay.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Like hiding what?
Especially back when we were starting, like you can kind of add a few nice kind of cycling textures over the top of something, and kind of it all just kind of meshes it all together. So, and I definitely like things to do things with a more sort of tactile, kind of hand-drawn feel. Again, probably more so when I was starting out than now, and tried to kind of make sure that I wasn't pigeonholed for just doing that.
And recently, it's evolved nicely that you're doing a bit more 3D and it's some varied stuff.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've definitely tried to do with each time I kind of have done some sort of, not necessarily trend, but like some sort of technique or aesthetic that I've tried. I'm like, well, I don't want to just do that. I don't want to be known for the guy that does textural work or the guy that does 2D bubbly character work, but I like doing those things. But once I do those, I would try and look at the body of work and establish what's lacking or something like that, and whether it's a skill that I have currently or not, and I'd be like, let's try and do that so it's not too focused.
Yeah.
And there's clearly strengths and consistencies within the work that we do. But I don't want to just get pigeonholed. It's kind of the key.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Another thing.
Is that a boogie under your nose there, or a bit of mustard, or a bit of sauerkraut?
I don't know.
Lucky I told you. It was on your camera side too.
Thanks, man.
Once again.
Do you consider yourself a motion designer, or what do you're an animator?
An animator, definitely. I don't really, I've never really loved the terminologies that kind of come and go like that. Like I think back when I was getting into this stuff, it was probably more motion graphics was the thing. I came from a strong design background, and the idea of making that move was motion graphics. It was MK12 and those sorts of guys were coming to the forefront, and they were all pretty interesting. But then like it becomes like a trendy word and a term, and then it kind of dates, and then the skills kind of progress and everything like that. So I don't really like it can become quite focused now. So, but to answer your question, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself a MoGraph person, but we do some MoGraph work at the studio. I try and keep the studio work broad enough that we're not like push into into a style or a technique or a trend or something like that.
Sure.
That's kind of part of the greater goal.
What is that got a bit of mint on it? That's the chili. Not just,
I guess it's like chili con carne,
right.
maxed out cream and.
it's funny how
all
like
bad
the
things.
Yanks call chili more of a meat thing, and we would consider it the spicy non vegetable.
Totally.
Is it a vegetable? A chili? Is chili a
I don't
vegetable?
want to answer questions like that on film in case I get them wrong.
The Officeworks job that you've just done, I think it's recent.
Not that recent, but it's done. It's recent enough as far as
is my show,
as
your
much
show.
as we update the website. It's recent actually.
Well, I checked out your website recently just to re-familiarise myself with your wonderful work, and it was new to me.
Yeah, it's newish.
And I'd call it motion design.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
thank you.
And it's a little bit different from the work that I've known you for in the past, but that's what we're talking about. You're diversifying and showing a range of skills there.
Yeah,
I don't really have anything else to add.
that's not a question, it's a statement. All right.
That might just be a good segue to cut to it.
Yeah, sure.
What shape is your business in? Could it be faster? Could it be more powerful? Or more flexible? Could it be healthier? Or could it be more appealing? Yes, it could. When you get business fit at Officeworks. If you've got the big ideas, Officeworks has the lowest prices.
How did you conceptualise that particular piece?
That was an agency job, so we kind of got involved at a early level where a script already existed and some ideas existed, but the ideas were just kind of words on paper. There's some voiceover lines there, and there's some ideas. There's mandatories that they need to kind of hit in terms of we need to show these products are these ideas, and maybe there's suggestions on how to do it. Maybe some suggestions are good, maybe some of them aren't, and maybe there's room for us to kind of feedback and improve them. Maybe sometimes there aren't, and we kind of find that balance. But they're all just kind of words on a paper, and how they actually work in a practical sense in regards to the reference we're kind of talking about with the client and the agency. That's, I guess, where our role was on there, to make sense of it, to make it work practically, to try and make it still look good, and to kind of have the sort of visual integrity that we want it to, but also make that work for the client.
It was a good piece. I liked it.
Thanks, man.
It's quite free flowing.
I think it works. It works as a final piece, but like it was an interesting one to kind of see the different iterations of reading that initial script of how the hell is this going to get from this to this? Like that doesn't make sense. So how does it make sense? Yeah, we push back on certain ideas or suggest what we think are better alternatives, but what we think is not always the right thing either. So it's kind of a balance of what we want and the client wants, and kind of how to make that work. Because sometimes we're all on the same page, and sometimes it's just like the client wants this to this, and like okay. We did that, and then you work it out, you get the right people involved, and you problem solve.
Yeah, it's a piece that's like almost got a 2D illustrative quality to it, but it's treated in 3D space, and the icons are very tubular and got form to it. That's a pretty unique take on it.
Yeah, well, I tried to approach that project like as if it was 2D cell animation, essentially. It didn't work out. The pipeline wasn't exactly what I'd envisioned, but essentially it's like, how would a traditional animator transition or animate this object and then transition from A to B, and then how does that work in a practical sense, doing this 3D animation, technically, creatively, and making it all link and work and not look like balls.
Yeah, right.
Hi, you hungry?
If you didn't do animation,
Oh yeah,
what the would you do?
I have no idea.
Do you have any other skills?
I'd like to think so. You'd have to ask my wife. She might tell you otherwise. But I don't know what I'd do, but I think the path for me to get here was very linear and straightforward, because I always knew that I absolutely wanted to do this sort of thing. Not specifically be like a studio owner, or even like an animation studio owner, but a creative path like this was a pretty obvious thing for me, and kind of just flowed on from there. Like I was pretty determined, not specifically to be an animation studio owner, but I knew that I had the desire to do this sort of work.
Yeah.
I've got a story. Yeah. I've got a story. I've got a story. Yeah. I've got a story.
What does the average day look like for Ken Goff?
Wake up pretty early to a pre-made coffee that I made the night before to not wake my children. It's just cold and straight down the hatch. Take a go to the gym, go do some CrossFit and work out all my kind of problems for the day. Come into work slightly less grumpy and work with the lovely people here and work on whatever animation challenges we've got for the day.
What are you working on there?
This is for Toyota, Good for Cricket, a little sort of naive illustrations that we're bringing to life within a live action shoot. This sort of thing, very early stages, you can see from some pretty wonky animation.
So in terms of, you know, the shit we do, what inspires you?
Shit.
Shit inspires you?
It does, but more specifically, yeah, I just have a passion for finding out ways to do what we do. Like, I find it really interesting, the mixture of creativity and the kind of technical stuff in deconstructing and reconstructing animation and animated characters.
I think I saw you do a talk a while back, but you were big on kind of not using plugins and presets, sort of, like, which I really like because there's so much of that these days, and it kind of means that the work gets a little bit, you know, generic.
Yeah.
Is that something that's important to you?
I don't necessarily shy away from using things like that, but it's more about how you use them, and you don't want things to look derivative of a process, of a tool, or a new plugin or something like that. Something new comes out, like for example, Rubber Hose is really interesting tool for After Effects, and I use it a lot and I love it, but then all of a sudden you see a lot of noodly characters and a lot of people's work looks and moves the same, and that's kind of what you want to avoid.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious what you've used straight away.
Yeah, it's like you don't want students or juniors looking at a tutorial and replicating a tutorial. It's about looking at those things and picking out what's kind of worth putting into your toolbox to make something a bit more nuanced.
What do you think the future is for you and Dirty Puppet?
Shit.
More shit.
Yeah, more
There's
shit.
So much fecal matter in this interview.
Hopefully more crazy, adventurous briefs that we get to kind of work with and really add to.
As we leave, when did you start wearing men's clothing again?
When your mum told me to sort my shit out. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you're very good at what you do?
I think I'm good at recognizing what I'm not good at doing.
That's a talent in itself.
Yeah, and then borrowing on the strengths of others. I think that's something that I've kind of definitely learned over the years, what to focus on and what to hand off to people who are better at me than.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think Cam's brain's turned to mush after that hot dog, so we better leave him to get back to some work. We'll go back to St Kilda. Cam, thanks very much.
Thanks, man. Thanks for your time.
See ya.
Cheers.
Don't kiss me.
No promises.
Ah!